Hey y'all, Phil here. I just wanted to make a short, quick video to let you know if any of you are interested in the Part 107, the FAA Remote Pilot Certificate. Stay tuned. Alrighty, I went and did my Part 107 recertification test this morning. Now, if you already have a Part 107 commercial drone license and it's been more than 24 calendar months, you need to recertify, take the test again. And the recertification test is only 40 questions as opposed to the 60 on the initial certification, and you only have 90 minutes to complete it. If you've done your proper study and everything, though, 90 minutes is more than plenty. I was surprised. The things that I've read and seen online is that the recertification test was more chart intensive than the initial one. However, mine was only about 25 or 30% charts and airspace, and the rest of it was on safety as far as attitudes, physiological attitudes, and things like that. I was just surprised. I thought it would be, from what I'd read, more strictly on charts and airspace. What type of airspace is this? Blah, blah, blah. What does this mean on the thing? Blah, blah, blah. But there weren't as many questions as I thought. Like I said, it was more PIC should do this, or what do you do to keep up your maintenance records and things like that. So don't just study the charts and airspace. It's just what I spent a lot of time redoing. But then again, you know, I was a pilot for 35 years, so I am familiar with all the charts and airspace and stuff like that. So, but being a pilot, most pilots are type A personality, so we want to strive to do the best we can and not fail at anything. So I was a little bit apprehensive about going to taking the test again, just like I did when I was flying every year. You got to take a annual flight evaluation, and most pilots, you know, tend to get a little nervous. They don't want to fail. They don't want to be seen as a weak or a failure amongst their peers. And so to me, it was, you know, got me a little anxious. But anyway, I went down and the test was, you know, completely different than what I was expecting. But it didn't take long to complete. And once you pass the test, I got a 98, by the way. I missed one question, and I shouldn't have missed that one. If I'd read the question thoroughly, I wouldn't have missed that one. It's just one of those things. Anyway, once you complete the test, you get a piece of paper from the testing site with their official seal stamp on it saying that you've completed the test. Now, that's the only thing that you will get. You will not get a new certificate or anything else. The certificate you have is good for life, and you just have to keep retesting every 2 years, 24 calendar months. So don't throw your old certificate away. You got to keep that, and you also have to have this piece of paper that goes along with it said, yes, you completed the recertification test. I don't know what they'll do in the future, but for right now, that's the way it is. And speaking of recertification, if you go more than 24 calendar months, that's fine. There's no penalty or anything like that to it. You just, once your 24 calendar months are up, you cannot perform functions as a commercial drone pilot. You can go out and recreational fly and all that, but you just cannot get paid for your work, any work that you do, because your license has expired. But if you go like I did, I actually went 30 months, and so I went in and just recertified. Now I'm good to go again. It's probably a good idea to keep that up if you plan to keep drone flying, commercially. Another thing for all you YouTubers out there, personally, I've looked everywhere I can find online. I'm going to try to ask a few more people, but I cannot find anywhere online that says that YouTubers flying a drone have to have a Part 107. However, the requirements for getting your Part 107 remote pilot certificate is if you do anything, any kind of work, receive any kind of benefit from your flying your drone, then you have to have the remote pilot certificate, the Part 107. And so all you YouTubers out there, in my opinion, if the FAA comes along and decides to crack down on YouTubers, you better have your Part 107. If you use your drone videos in your YouTube and your YouTube videos are monetized. Obviously, if they don't have a drone in it, it wouldn't matter. But if you have a drone shot, a drone footage in your YouTube video, and that video is monetized, then technically you have to have a Part 107 remote pilot certificate issued by the FAA. And I just know for sure that one of these days, I don't know when, but I have that gut feeling that knowing the government the way they are, one of these days they will come down and start checking YouTube videos, drone pilots, and make sure that you have the Part 107. If you don't, it can be a stiff fine. So if you don't have it, get it. And there are different ways to get it. You can do self-study, which is basically what I've done. I've taken the online FAA test from the FAA and watched a lot of videos on airspace and stuff like that. But again, I was a pilot for 35 years, so I'm familiar with all this stuff. So to me, it was more a refresher. But if you've never looked at an aeronautical chart and don't know anything about airspace and what type of airspace covers what airport and what do you need to do to fly in that airspace and how high up does that airspace go and what does it cover and all that kind of stuff, you're probably better off enrolling in one of these remote pilot ground school courses to help you study. Now they range anywhere, I don't know, $100 to $500. Do your diligence, do your research, and find yourself a good school, and they'll take you through it step by step, and you can pass your test the first time out. It'll cost you $150 to take that test, and it will cost you $150 every 2 years to continue to take that test. But penalties can be stiff, I think, if you get caught flying for profit, for income, and don't have that certificate, you can get in trouble. Now, when you think a certificate, if somebody, let's say your friend says, go film this football game for me, and I'll give you tickets to the football game. Technically, that's being paid to film that football game. So you need the FAA Part 107 remote pilot certificate. So just something to think about. I'm not going to come around and check on you, but one of these days I'm sure the FAA will. So just be prepared. Just be prepared. Unless you like doing things illegal, then, do whatever you want to do. But anyway, that was it. Like I said, I took mine. It took me about, authorized 90 minutes. It took me about 45 minutes, I think, to get that done. It was pretty quick, zip, zip. And actually, though, when I was taking the test, a lot of the questions, I'm thinking to myself, man, I don't remember reading this, because it wasn't a lot on airspace and charts and stuff, which I thought it was going to be. It was more on operational procedures and things like that, which I thought I had a pretty good handle on. Evidently I did, because I only missed one of them. But I was thinking when I was taking the test, boy, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure I've got this right. I wasn't sure. So but I did fine, and you can too. So take the test. If you need any help or information on it, leave me a comment, down below. I'll answer all the comments that I get, and if I can help you in any way, just let me know, and I'll be happy to help. So until later, all you remote pilots out there, and remote pilots, that people that want to be remote pilots, this video is about that, and it's for you. So until later, Phil out.